Naiwasaningaw na niba katara vakapinipinakatay bula oya wasala vilawa ndo patake yao maina dhiwa kina tini karona kaloko na singalebo ni moniti kina vakaromboka kako ni valatana no musini sari na kaisa marianda ololoma leo ni vani ni nau omgori kede maina dhiwa kina tini karona kaloko na singalebo ni moniti kina vakaromboka ena Bula FM namba 2 ena sere.
Bula, I'm DJ Toro. Join me every Monday to Thursday, 7 until midnight. The premium classics on Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Tonight, turmoil within the Fiji Cancer Society blocks assistance to child cancer patients. Fiji Revenue and Customs Authority and FMPF to issue new joint identification cards. And Penny Mao is a free man after being acquitted in court. Good evening, I'm Jackie Spate and you're watching FBC News. 4 children who died from cancer might have been saved if they could have accessed funds from the Walk On, Walk Strong Foundation. The WOWS Foundation has an agreement to work with the Fiji Cancer Society to help children who need treatment, but this has been impossible because of internal problems with the society. Ritika Pratap reports.
Around $500,000 fundraised for children's cancer treatment remains frozen because the Fiji Cancer Society is in turmoil.
What really hurt us is to see the kids passing and we can't take the money out and support these families.
4 child cancer patients who were supposed to receive treatment in the last 2 years have died because the money collected by WOWS has been frozen by the bank. The deal between the WOWS Foundation and the Cancer Society was for all the money raised to be put into the society's account. Both organizations would need to sign off before money could be withdrawn.
The money that has been going on up to last year, the big fundraise that so now it's sitting there $500,000 on the Fiji Cancer Society's account.
Frozen funds means the bank accounts are closed. The banks are not releasing funds to all of us, to WOWS and to us at the Fiji Cancer Society.
The Cancer Society says they are trying their best to solve the problem within the next 2 weeks.
All our computer records in somebody's private program, and that somebody has erased all our financial and administrative documents, so we don't have anything to work on just now.
WOWS has put all its fundraisers on hold for now. It's likely that the charity will register independently and continue its work without the Fiji Cancer Society. For now, there are no indications how the current state of affairs will be solved and monies released from the bank. Ritika Pratap, FBC News.
A new joint identification card will be introduced by the Fiji National Provident Fund and Fiji Revenue and Customs Authority. The card, while allowing easy exchange of information, will also ensure that members of the public can't manipulate their tax and FMPF information. Shanal Sivan with the details.
This is what the new ID cards will look like. Once issued, there will be no need to print tax identification letters.
Moving forward from today and to be announced today is there will be just one card for both FNPF and tax identification number. We have been receiving reports of late in terms of fraud that has been used by certain individuals, whereby the tins that are issued from flag office are being manipulated for some fraud means. We are glad that the timeliness of this in terms of issuing of cards will resolve it.
FNPF Chief Executive Aisake Taito says, with the new ID cards, members of the public will find it easy to conduct legal and financial transactions.
You can just pick up a wallet, get your card, and you enter your ID number, and there'll be only one. So that number you can use both, identify you as a taxpayer and also in the 5 years, they contribute in sharing our information, intelligence between the two. This is a further step from MOU we already have.
The cards will be available from FRCA and FNPF centers from July at no cost to the public.
The two authorities will have a joint database which will only contain information needed for the ID cards. Over $1 million have been spent for the project and over 200,000 people have been identified for the ID cards. Shanal Shivan, FBC News.
The European Union has committed $136 million to assisting sugarcane farmers between 2006 and 2013. Some of the money is aimed at supporting research which the EU considers a major factor in reviving the sugar industry. And as Christopher Chand reports, this is also what led to the first international workshop on the sugarcane variety Erianthus.
Sugar production has dropped over the years. Research and introduction of new cane varieties is expected to get us back on track. Discussions on the nobilization of Erianthus was held in Fiji to look at how this hybrid can be grown here.
The European Union strategy reinforces the view that the sugar industry is still a fundamental sector in Fiji's economy, and while it may be reduced in size, it will hopefully continue to act as the core of social stability throughout the sugarcane region if it is successfully restructured.
The EU says their direct support to the Sugar Research Institute of Fiji will reach a total of $11.5 million by the end of this year.
The future of the Fijian sugar sector is heavily dependent on the introduction of new high-yield varieties and disease-free planting material at farm level.
Directly and indirectly, there are approximately 200,000 people related to this industry, and which constitute approximately 25% of the total population. So you see the importance sugar plays.
The meeting has pointed out issues and recommendations that will benefit the industry.
This program will be extended for another year. However, this program itself, the nobilization of Erianthus, right from the beginning we knew it was a high-risk program. We might succeed, we may not succeed.
The goal is to see if sugarcane hybrids like Erianthus can adapt to Fiji. If successful, production levels are likely to reach all-time high records. Christopher Chand, FBC News.
A 53-year-old truck driver has been found guilty of rape and acquitted on a charge of attempted murder. Muhammad Ibrahim has been sentenced to a minimum of 6 years imprisonment for rape by the Lambasa High Court today. Justice Paul Madigan said a commercial agreement for sexual services made between the accused and the victim does not allow the accused an absolute and unconditional right to sex at any time. Justice Madigan said every sex worker has the right to say no. The court heard in April last year Ibrahim arranged to meet the victim. They had an agreement that she would provide sexual services for him in return for gifts of money, which he paid into her bank account. On the day in question, Ibrahim raped the victim after she refused to have sex, saying she wanted to eat first. Coming up, what is a spring tide and what problems can it cause?
आपकी शादी होने वाली है 5 बच्चे होंगे 5 हाय मैं हूँ आपकी सहेली रेनू सुनते रहेंगे मिर्ची एफएम मैं हूँ ना 9 से 12 बजे तक
I wake up in the morning, I prefer to go down to the gym, get a bit of physical work done. Also later on in the day, I decide to go through for meditation. I do a bit of reading to find out what the latest songs are, a bit of research. And for me, it's all about the listeners.
Hey, what's up? I'm Rio, and this is the Traffic Jam every weekday from 3 o'clock to 7, only on Today FM. Today is hit music. What's up?
Welcome back. You're watching FBC News. Fiji has one of the lowest life expectancy rates in the region, according to the World Health Organization. As Apeli Tokowasa reports, this was revealed during the launch of the USP Health Week yesterday.
The WHO study called the Global Burden of Disease has placed Fiji 121st in life expectancy out of the 193 UN-recognized countries. The study shows that the average life expectancy in Fiji is 68 years.
This would mean that the majority of working adults in Fiji who retire at the normal age of 55 years would have 13 years to enjoy retirement.
Jude says that if people in Fiji want to live longer, healthier lives, they need to make some lifestyle changes.
Life expectancy is reflective of a host of factors affecting any individual over a lifetime. But a key modifying factor is what happens here, what happens in your psyche, in your mindset. The change begins there.
The main factor in low life expectancy rating is our choice of food, moving away from fresh fruits and vegetables and relying on processed food.
Even poor people in countries with better health care do better than Fiji. It's a hostile climate, all this rain and humidity, but it's also about choices people make, and they're particularly about food. Fiji didn't have this problem, and the islands didn't have this problem of diabetes 30 years ago.
Reducing the rate of NCDs in Fiji will also help improve life expectancy. Epeli Tuguasa, FBC News.
Former post-Fiji executives Tevita Penny-Mau and Dhirendra Pratap are now free men after being acquitted by the Suva High Court this morning. Judge Justice Prabhaharan Kumararatnam found Mau not guilty of abuse of office and Pratap not guilty of extortion by public office. The judge's decision is in line with the assessors who yesterday delivered a not guilty verdict against the two. FICAC alleged that over $5,000 was paid to Pratap without the authority of the post-Fiji board. Outside, Mau was all smiles, saying justice prevailed.
I'm very delighted. Now I believe justice has been done. All this, the last time I was already committed. This was my second home. I'm glad. I believe that justice has been done at last.
We join Jamie now for sports. So I hear there's almost a second Fiji team gunning for the Sevens World Cup.
Not a second Fiji team, Jackie. It's actually the New Zealand Sevens team, but they have named 6 Fijian boys in the mix.
Just when I thought our World Cup chances had doubled.
Well, that would have been nice, Jackie, but no, that won't be happening. You can find out who the 6 Fijians in the New Zealand squad are after the break. Stay with us.
Bula, I'm Wame. Join me every weekday from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. on The Center Show with classic hits from the 70s as well as the 80s right here on Gold FM.
जहाँ हो प्यार का बसेरा और रिश्तों की खुशबू, वो है आपका अपना घर संसार. Join me on Ghar Sansar, Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. till 12 p.m. only on Radio Fiji 2.
Welcome back. First up in sports tonight, the Japan rugby squad held its first training run in the country this morning in preparation to play the Flying Fijians on Saturday. Already ranked one position below Fiji, the side also does not have stats backing them. However, as Indra Singh reports, the Cherry Blossoms know what needs to be done for a win.
The Japanese are here, 14 tests later, and with only 3 wins under their belt, the build-up to this game does not make it worthwhile for the visitors based on stats.
Historical record shows that in 14 tests Fiji have won 11 and we've only won 3, and most of the cases in those 11 victories it's been the physical power of the Fijians.
However, the last outing against Fiji in Lautoka brought about smiles for the Japan side as they won the PNC for the first time ever. But Jones, who is one of the best in the business, is letting bygones be just bygones.
Definitely hope to repeat it, in that game. Obviously Fiji had a number of players off the field in the sin bin, which helped Japan. We're not expecting the same situation on Saturday. We're going to have to play some really good disciplined rugby, and if we can do that, we'll put ourselves in a position to win the game.
The Japanese forwards are one of the strongest in world rugby, and that is one area which is an Achilles heel for the Flying Fijians.
They've always got a heavy pack and they've got a tall pack, so we're going to have to scrum well and line out well, and if we do that, then we could get an advantage.
The stats are on Fiji's side, but the modern day game has definitely changed. To make the match more tantalizing, it's the 14th ranked Fijians against the 15th ranked Cherry Blossoms. Now that should make this game full of stats, but also at the same time the fight for the PNC title just will intensify further. Interesting, FBC Sports.
Waikato Chiefs rugby wing Patrick Osborne has been named in the New Zealand Sevens World Cup training squad. The former Suva wing has been called up by coach Gordon Tidgens in the 19-member squad. Also included are 5 other Fijian players, which include veterans Tomasi Thama Jr. and Lotte Raikambula. Blues wing Waisake Naholo, Rocky Khan and David Raikuna are the others named. Meanwhile, Fiji Rugby's centennial celebrations are becoming an attractive money source for Rugby House. A new signing with Digicel today sees the FRU pocketing $30,000, all targeted on the Flying Fijians' classic All Blacks match in 2 weeks' time. As Elena McDonald reports, the players have something to look forward to from that match aside from winning.
This latest signing between FRU and Digicel is the start to what could be 6 months of celebrations for Fiji Rugby. But the $30,000 handed out today is only for the one match on June 12th.
As you know, this is a new board, so we're trying to streamline things, and we are very glad that Digicel has come on board.
Part of the deal includes a new jersey for the national side when facing the classic All Blacks.
Where Digicel has been a partner of Fiji Rugby Union since 2006, sponsoring the Digicel Fiji Sevens team, and really delighted to be coming on board and assisting Fiji Rugby with this momentous occasion in Fiji Rugby's calendar.
Everyone's anticipating Fiji's performance against the classic All Blacks, and there's even an interesting twist for players during that encounter.
As the host nation, FRU officials have decided to award caps to the Flying Fijians, something that's usually done only during test matches. Marking the centennial celebrations may be good for the reps, but for the fans, we want to see a win at home and done in true Fijian rugby flair fashion. Fingers crossed it'll happen during the 100 years celebrations. Elena McDonald, FBC Sports.
Lambasa football team wants its fans to know that they will bounce back after a 5-2 drubbing at the hands of Suva 2 days ago. The Lambasa Football Association is now looking to bring in all their overseas players to field a stronger team for the upcoming Vodafone Fiji Fact. Selvin Chan reports.
The 5-2 loss was not what Lambasa fans had expected last Sunday. Lambasa football officials say the team realizes that they have disappointed fans.
The team has got the capacity to do well. There were a few mistakes that were obviously made during that fixture, and we have identified the Achilles heels in our performance in the team, and we will certainly be rectifying it.
Work is now being done to get international transfer clearance of those players who were with Amikal of Vanuatu and PNG's Hekari United.
We are working relentlessly to get our players cleared, and they are a very important part of the squad, obviously, and they bring to the squad a lot of experience, a lot of expertise.
Lambasa has only one more game before the first tournament of the year.
We have started our preparations for Fiji Fact, and the fixture against Reva will be very important in that it will also serve as a guideline for us to identify the problem areas.
While the IDC issue is being settled, the team that has been in camp is most likely to feature in the Fiji Fact. Lambasa has set up camp in Suva until the tournament, and they are trying to prove their critics wrong. Shalvin Chand, FBC Sports.
Top surfers from the World Tour will converge on Tavarua for this weekend's Volcom Fiji Pro Surfing Competition. Organizers are hoping for some ideal swells when the competition starts this Saturday. Salindau Kadaka reports.
34 surfers who are competing in this year's ASP World Championship Tour will feature in the Volcom Fiji Pro Championship this weekend at Tavarua. Last year's champion and current world number 3, Kelly Slater, is also expected to make an appearance. Host Fiji will field a lone surfer as a wildcard entry.
The first of the trials events was the Fiji Games, which was 2 weekends ago, and Arthur Radulo came out on top with Issei Tokovo in second and Paul Chongsu from Singatoka in third. Now, Issei was last year's Volcom Pro Fiji Trials winner. Now, we had a second trials event on Friday, and Issei came out on top on that one, and Arthur got second. So there's going to be a third trials event probably tomorrow. We're waiting for the conditions to be close enough to what they're going to find in the main professional tour event.
Whoever grabs that final spot will be in for a treat, as they will also be surfing to a global audience.
The boys are surfing really well, and it's always a case of taking that kind of a performance when there's just a local trials event type of pressure on them and translating that to a world tour event when they're surfing against, the current world champion and all their heroes and all around the whole circus, if you want to call it that, and hundreds of thousands of people watching live online and the country of Fiji.
This event serves as another reminder that the country is able to host international events. Who rules the waves is something to be seen. Tsalendo Takavaka, FBC Sports.
That's your sports for tonight. It's back to Jackie for business.
Potential overseas investors will soon be able to register their business interest in Fiji online. According to Investment Fiji, working on the initiative is progressing and aims to allow investors to complete their applications in a single process. The exercise involves breaking up all 27 agencies responsible for the approval of investment registrations into 2 tiers.
Tier 1, who are basically the top notch of all investments, because these are the ones that you need to get them approved first, which is Investment Fiji, Director of Immigration, FERCA, the office, Register of Company, and RBF. In Tier 1, what Government, ITC, and Alaman Chile and Investment Fiji and the Tier 1 are targeting, worst case maybe end of July, August, to get them on board, and Tier 2 to come in the 3rd and 4th quarter.
This will allow applications and registrations to be cleared without the investor having to come to Fiji. And we join our favorite weather girl now.
Well, Jackie, it was another wet day for everyone. The Weather Office forecast rain and thunderstorms yesterday, and looking at today's map, that's exactly what we got. It must have been pretty good business, though, for taxi drivers around the country. Looking at temperatures now, 3 major centers have the same temperature today. Nandi, Lautoka and Ba are all on 27 degrees, while Lambasa has the highest again at 32. Things should start clearing up tomorrow. The Northern Division and the capital city can expect some showers in place of all the heavy rain and thunderstorms, while it's back to base for the western side with sunny conditions throughout the day. Now to Yogesh Narayan of Nandawa, congratulations. You sent in the photo of the day. We were very impressed with this shot, especially the look of those clouds. We love getting photos from our viewers, so please keep it coming. Thanks for joining me again tonight. Have a safe evening, and as always from me, stay safe and stay smiling.
Thanks so much for that, Genevieve. And just recapping tonight's headlines, Fiji Cancer Society's internal issues has resulted in assistance to child cancer patients being compromised. FMPF and Fiji Revenue and Customs Authority will issue joint identity cards for members of the public. And Penny Mao and co-accused Dhirendra Pratap have been cleared by the Suva High Court. To this week's poll question, and we ask, should Fiji have a new national anthem? To take part, visit www.fbc.com.fj. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email, citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj. That's news tonight. I'll see you again tomorrow. Good night.
Nimbula, methangu nimilote na isorotumua. Nama kia umena rua kina ona na via kavi moniti kina vakaromuka. Rongo mena via sana kina viva ka barota kinin reko malolo. Ena Radio Fiji 1 na wongani via neano. Ngai nama kia kina.
Ni sambulo binaka oya wone kamanalangi oni nandorungo diao mai na diwa kina rua na bisinga mai na moniti kina bagarumbu na radio Fiji wana ndoma ibiti bongani bianyanu nama katalengana bengo na sasibiani na tinna kaloko na bembongi ni bukilulu kena bima mani walu na bembongi ni bakarawai mai na mbuza ni balu ninge namaka.